You are listening to the audio production of The Post-Quarantine Church by Thom S. Rainer, published by Tyndale Momentum. This book is read by Michael Beck. Dedication. To the church leaders in the Church Answers community, I am honored to serve you. And always to Nellie Jo, I am honored you said yes. Introduction. After the quarantine. Do you remember where you were? It's a common question when talking about historic events. We like to recall exactly where we were and what we were doing when we heard about a great event or a tragic moment. In addition to remembering historic achievements such as landing a man on the moon, tearing down the Berlin Wall, and the Chicago Cubs winning a World Series, I've been around long enough to recall 4 distinct tragedies, each separated by about 20 years. Though I was only in 3rd grade at the time, I'll never forget November 22nd, 1963. Boys and girls, my teacher said with a surprising degree of emotion, I want you all to focus on the words I'm about to say. I want you to remember this moment clearly the rest of your lives. President Kennedy has been shot and killed. He has been assassinated. The president is dead. That was a hard dose of reality for a classroom of 8-year-olds, but ever since that day, I have been fascinated with the Kennedy assassination. I have my own theories about what happened, and some of my most prized collectibles and artifacts are connected to that sad day. Fast forward more than 2 decades. I was a full-time seminary student working 30 hours a week at a bank to support my family. I can remember standing in the bank lobby on January 28, 1986, watching on television as the Space Shuttle Challenger lifted off from Cape Canaveral. I remember my confusion when, barely a minute into the flight, the rocket became a ball of fire with plumes of smoke shooting every which way. It took me about 30 minutes to fully realize the Challenger was gone. 7 lives were lost, including that of Krista McAuliffe, the first schoolteacher to go into space. 15 years after the Challenger explosion came the tragic event known simply as September 11th. I was a seminary dean, and I went to chapel that morning in 2001 with the knowledge that 2 planes had flown into the Twin Towers of New York City's World Trade Center. But I didn't know why. By the time chapel was over, the towers had collapsed. Another 2 decades later, we were struck by the global coronavirus pandemic, and nation by nation, the world went into lockdown mode. Within 2 months, the unwieldy name for the virus, 2019 nCoV, or 2019 novel coronavirus, had become COVID-19, or simply the virus. 4 tragic moments in history, 4 events I will never forget, 4 disasters that resulted in death. But here's the thing about the 4th tragedy. I don't remember where I was when I first heard about COVID-19. The 3 previous catastrophes were tied to specific dates and times. But I had heard about the virus in bits and pieces. There was no singular event like an assassination, a spaceship explosion, or planes crashing into towers. Our awareness grew only as the virus spread. The COVID-19 pandemic likely spread to the United States in January 2020. We began to hear about people dying in China and Italy and elsewhere, but few of us were paying attention to the imminent threat to our own nation. The first known COVID-19 deaths in the United States occurred the following month. I'm not exactly sure when my wife and I began our COVID-19 quarantine. I remember recording podcasts with 2 guys in my office sometime in March, and I remember one of them saying he was headed home to Kansas City, where he might have to stay for a while because his company was suspending all travel.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?